Thomas Alive Today presents
Dominick's Supermarket. The roots of Dominick's reach back to 1909 when Sicilian-born Dominick Di Matteo immigrated to America, settling in Chicago. In 1918 he established this small deli squeezed into a 20 by 50-foot location on Chicago's west side. In that same year Dominick Di Matteo Jr. was born. As soon as he was old enough, the young Di Matteo began helping out with the business. He was only 16 years old when he took over the management of a second store launched in 1934. It was a time of transition in the grocery business, which was making the switch from orders being filled by clerks to self-service, a concept pioneered by Clarence Saunders and his Piggly Wiggly stores. Next came the supermarket concept that flourished in the years following World War II. In 1950 the Di Matteos opened their first supermarket. The facility was 14,000 square feet in size and inaugurated the rise of a major Chicago area chain of large format stores. It was also one of the first of the new supermarkets to introduce in-store delicatessens and a frozen foods section. By 1968 the Dominick's chain totaled 19 stores, at which point the Di Matteos elected to sell the business to Fisher Foods Incorporated, a Cleveland company run by John and Carl Fazio, who in a short period of time had transformed this 6-store chain into a 74-store operation. The Di Matteo family continued to run the Chicago stores, and although Fisher Foods had the financial resources to grow the chain to 71 units, the Di Matteos were not happy with the arrangement. In 1981 the family bought back the chain for $100 million, the same year that Dominick Di Matteo Sr. died. The Di Matteos continued to expand and had acquired 4 stores from Kohl's and 16 stores from Eagle in 1982 and 1985 respectively. In 1986 Dominick's experimented with a discount grocery store concept called Jerry's Deep Discount Centers with just 3 units, but the experiment was terminated after a few months of operation. In the 1980s and early 1990s, under the direction of Bob Mariano, Dominick's experimented with new large food and drug combo stores. Dominick's was one of the first to experiment with all ceiling sales areas, exposed structural elements such as piping and HVAC ducts, large-scale state-of-the-art telephone systems and POS systems, video departments, 1-hour photo, bulk foods, and many other new 1980s concepts. This design carried over to the Omni Superstore division of Dominick's. Between early 1985 and 1988, Dominick's food and drug combo stores contained a full glass front wall that overlooked the parking lot with a customer service desk in the middle of the glass wall. Between 1988 and 1993, Dominick's stores contained a 2-story area at the front of the store. The first floor contained the customer service desk area, entry/exit vestibules, the security room, the video department, and a bank. The second level contained a break room, employee restrooms, office area, and windows that overlooked the sales floor. After 1993 and the introduction of the Dominick's Fresh stores, the design was switched back to a single-level store throughout. In 1993, Dominick Di Matteo Jr. died from lung cancer. According to the local press, his daughters and son did not have the same passion for the supermarket business. There was corporate infighting that also contributed to the family selling the chain. It took 3 years before the company was sold to a Los Angeles-based grocery investment firm headed by Ukaiba Companies. In the 1990s, Dominick's took the food and drug combo to the next level with the introduction of the Dominick's Fresh store in 1993. The Dominick's Fresh store introduced prepared foods, in-store restaurants/cafes, Starbucks cafes, soft lighting, upscale subtle graphics, uniform products, signage, and a general European market feel to the Dominick's stores. During the late 1990s, the Fresh stores were the main expansion model for Dominick's and was rolled out to all new stores, including former Omni Superstores, which were warehouse-style supermarkets to stave off Cub Food supermarkets. Besides traditional food items, these stores featured non-food items, movie rental stores, and bulk items. The store's design was stark in comparison to Dominick's and featured cost-cutting techniques. These Omni Superstores began to lose money due to lack of loss prevention and throwaway inventorying. Around 1996, then owner Ukaiba decided to convert them to the Dominick's Fresh Store concept. Omni Superstores were converted to Dominick's stores in 1997 after Dominick's was acquired by Safeway. In 1998, the chain's then 116 stores were acquired by Safeway Incorporated. Safeway soon began to sell its own private label brands at Dominick's locations, replacing Dominick's former private label brands. According to a grocery business consultant, Dominick's focused on purchasing produce and meat on quality first, price second. Safeway did just the opposite. Dominick's lost market share and profits following the Safeway takeover. Safeway tried to imitate the model that had been successful in California, but Chicago's strong ethnic background did not mesh well with the California shopping experience. Between 2002 and 2007, Dominick's market share in the Chicago region declined from 24.4% to 14.5%. Safeway unsuccessfully attempted to sell the Dominick's chain in 2003. Safeway then reported Dominick's financial information as a discontinued operation, but later Safeway announced that it was retaining the chain. After Safeway bought Dominick's in 1998, the company put an abrupt halt to the Fresh stores, instead rolling out their own prototype with a Fresh Store logo on the outside of the store. Safeway still put the Fresh Store cursive logo on the outside of the stores, and in many stores the Fresh Store concepts such as cafes, fresh prepared foods, and European store layout format were discontinued in favor of Safeway's national store model. Safeway implemented its own store layouts as stores were remodeled, and their own house brands such as Safeway Select. In 2005, the Safeway Lifestyle Store concept was brought to the Dominick's brand, and in turn many stores were remodeled with many of the same elements that Bob Mariano, the CEO of Dominick's during the Safeway takeover, had instituted prior to Safeway's acquisition, but were in turn removed in 1998 by Safeway. Items such as hot prepared foods, salad bars, localized merchandise, and enhanced customer service, once removed by Safeway, were put back into service to try to win back the Chicago consumer. Mariano, the CEO of Roundy's Mariano's as of 2016, expanded under the Mariano's banner and put pressure onto the Dominick's stores, which eventually closed in late 2013. In February 2007, after closing more than 20 stores since its acquisition, Safeway announced that it would close another 14 stores in the Chicago area and convert 20 existing stores to the lifestyle format. After these store closings, Dominick's operated in 83 locations until they were closed on December 28, 2013. Over time, Dominick's closed stores due to lack of sales and overall poor performance. In 2011, 3 locations were closed in Orland Park, Oak Lawn, and Carpentersville. In 2012, stores were closed in Hoffman Estates, Vernon Hills, Lake Bluff, and Bloomingdale. Most employees were either transferred to different stores or offered a severance package. It was announced that most Dominick's stores would be closed in the Chicago area by December 28, 2013. The announcement has spurred its competitors into seeking out employees and store locations that they could expand into once Dominick's exits the market. On December 2, 2013, Milwaukee-based Roundy's, which operates under the Mariano's Fresh Market brand in the Chicago market and is chaired by former Dominick's CEO Bob Mariano, announced the purchase of 11 stores in the chain, though employees would have to reapply to work for Roundy's. Most former Dominick's locations purchased by Roundy's were demolished and a new building rebuilt on site. One location remained open in Bannockburn, Illinois until January 25, 2014, and another in Westchester, Illinois until January 28. Whole Foods purchased 7 of the closed locations in 2014. In 2015, Safeway was acquired by Albertsons, the parent company of Jewel Osco. Most of Dominick's brands were incorporated into Jewel, as a result fading the Dominick's brands from Chicago area landscape, but not forgotten.
At Dominick's, save on chickens. USDA Grade A fresh frying chicken. Limit 4, please. Just 39 cents a pound. Through Wednesday at Dominick's Meat Department.
If you have any fond memories, please indicate it at the comments below. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and like.